Host everybody, welcome to the Grand Torino with me, your host, Quirt and Krukta. Going to start off first of all by thanking everybody. Thank you very much for your likes, your subscriptions and all your comments. Very well received, much appreciated. I can't thank you enough. As always, I'll start off again now with press the like button and press the subscribe button because it helps with the algorithms. It gets us all on board and brings us to the attention of the algorithms, which all helps. I'd like to thank CBTS, the Calm Before the Storm crew on Reddit. I implore you to make your way there, go look at the board on Reddit or go look at the YouTube channel, The Storm. I was involved last night, the guys invited me on last night and it was great to meet everybody, great to see the operation and fantastically big news. I'm very pleased to be welcomed aboard and made feel so welcome. Shouts out always to Lionel Nation. You've got to watch this guy. Some of the guests he's bringing on and some of the critiques and as I mentioned before, he's a trial lawyer, so he's presenting a case to you. I'm not necessarily saying this is the way it is, but the official story doesn't seem to match up, and here's another possibility. It might encourage you to go and inquire into what they're saying there. Tracy Beans comes from the CBTS crew as well. She's doing phenomenal work on her channel. I implore you to go over there, like, subscribe and donate. Help all these researchers to do their bits and pieces that they need to do, because this is very important work for all of us, not just here in Europe, over there in the States. It's all going to come across, it's all going to have a domino effect and come down and affect as well. Last week I misplaced crowdsourced the truths. Jason Goodman, I was calling him Jason Bateman. My apologies. I can only set the record straight now with my apology and destroy the illusion. I was going to give out props to Jordan. He gave me the whiteboard. I'm sure it's been done elsewhere before, but I came across it and it's an easy setup for me to kind of emulate and broadcast the news that I have and what I'm seeing and hopefully get it across to us here in Europe. Hello Europe! Hello! Also a great site that Lionel Nation brought across was the American Intelligence Media website. Thomas Paine. I got a brief introduction to him with Lionel Nation on his YouTube podcast. The links will be in the description and a few things to have a look at. Also, he has another site called aimfortruth.org. I had a quick perusal there, and it's just a wealth of information, everything you need to go. It's a good reference point for everything that you do. Another correction from last week's, the March for Life happening here in Dublin. It's actually on the 10th of March, not the 10th of February, as I said in the last memo, so my apologies for that. This is all new to me, but we're learning as we go along. So yeah, 10th of March, Dublin, March for Life. Come on in, show your support, have a think, have a chat with everybody. Let's see if we can have a proper conversation on saving the 8th Amendment. Also, as I said last week, I will be attending the Air Exit, which it's been known both ways. That starts at 11 o'clock in the RDS. Anybody watching here from Dublin, Ireland? If you want to go up and have a look and see the calamity that I presume is going to ensue. So I want to touch base. There's so much happening there. I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis of where we are. I'm going to jump back in with the guys later on and try to get up to date. But every time I think about sitting down to do an interview, not even an interview, do a video with you guys, the more information just keeps coming out and out and out. And where does it stop? I can absorb it. But to try and break it down and disseminate it to everybody else in bit blocks that we can all understand, it's very, very hard. The memo is being blasted out. Release the memo. What is the memo? It's kicking around an instance of an abuse of power that the FBI, the Department of Justice, I'm going to say it, Obama, Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General of the Department of Justice, colluded to spy on the Donald Trump campaign during the 2016 election campaign. This is a gross overreach of power, putting it mildly. The particular section in FISA, the 702, prevents the agencies, the FBI and the CIA, from spying on American citizens. So what do they do to get around that? They talk to their friends in GCHQ over in Britain and they say to their guys, how is this thing set up? They put in a request for persons of interest that they have, but they can't spy on them personally or as an organization, because American citizens are protected under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, that they cannot spy on American citizens. So they asked GCHQ to do the spying for them. And how did they go about spying on the Donald Trump campaign? During the campaign, as all parties are wont to do, they gather information on their opposition. It's perfectly legit, perfectly legal. If people step forward and present with information that they might have, that might have, you know, delicate, I don't know if it's delicate, but information that's prevalent to the campaign and how it's being run and what's going on, all parties do it. So there was a Russian lawyer named Natalia Veselinitskaya who met with Donald Trump Jr. at Trump Towers. Now, Donald Trump never met with her specifically, but because she was under observation from the intelligence services, she was the honey trap essentially, and because Don Jr. met up with her, the trap was sprung. Because once that meeting was organised, once those two people were in the same room, it bypassed the FISA warrants and allowed GCHQ to carry on with their spying unimpeded. In fact, they actually had head offices over in the States, but everything that they conducted, they can conduct through the GCHQ headquarters in England. So the memo, going back to the memo, is actually the tip of the iceberg. The memo is just going to be the starter button, and it's going to activate Attorney General sessions to start bringing out the indictments. Even though they're already there, it's going to expose the whole game plan. Everything that's happening with the Q phenomenon on board, there's a big cat and mouse game going on, because the number one warfare that's carried out in the world is cyber warfare. There's a huge cyber warfare going on, and 45 is fighting with the temerity and the bravery of a true warrior. I mean, I'm saying that in awe over here in Europe. We can only aspire to have a man of such conviction to help his people, and effectively, I'm going to say it, I'm not a little bit crazy, help saving the world too. He will go down as I think, and most people, as one of the great presidents of all time. Remember, I said it. No, I'm not a little bit crazy. That's just the way it is. Part of the drops last night on Q was a thing called the 16-year plan, which was in effect because half of it had already been perpetrated. 8 years of Obama. 8 years of Obama to prepare, and what was to come was 8 years of Hillary to destroy. We are talking World War III. We are talking starving the populations, reducing your second right amendments over in the States, mass immigration, flooding, open borders, the whole quagmire of nightmares all bundled into one packet. And because DJT won, we dodged a bullet. I can only say a bullet. I'm going to try and bring you some more information, and I want to try and keep this into a short synopsis of what's going on. But you can go to the Calm Before the Storm Reddit site. You can see all the posts that are going on there. The dissemination of the Q drops and what they meant. But I need to bring your attention to the 16-year plan, which was already halfway in effect. All of these plans, these have been going on, and you will come to understand if you do. Come down the rabbit hole. Come down the rabbit hole. When you come down the rabbit hole, you will see these are truly evil people. Evil, evil, evil people. Once the memo is released, we can only hope with the power of God that it comes out soon. You're going to see the prosecutions. You're going to see and hear terrible, terrible deeds. I can only keep going back because there's been sterling work being done on the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Health Initiative, and all those fraudulent organizations that were paid to play schemes, that were invited to take in money and effectively launder money. But the biggest crime in mine is Haiti. I keep referring back to it. Haiti got $10 billion and didn't receive any of it. None of it came back down. And what they done to the children of Haiti especially, you know, you have to absorb that for yourself. But it will come out. 2018 is going to be spectacular. We're just braced. We're just on the very tip of the roller coaster, and we're only just climbing up to the very first. We're almost at the top. Once this is activated, the memo, hold on to your hats, people. The great interview that Lionel did with Thomas Paine from American Intelligence, which I watched there not so long ago. The key word, wetware. We are wetware. This is the Internet of Things to come. We will all be plugged into the Internet of Things. And as Lionel puts it, you go, yeah, that's great. You know, it's convenient for all these different things, but and essentially it's reinforcing the panopticon, where we're just under constant surveillance, where we're monitored, guided, shepherded, turned on, turned off, chips inserted. We've already heard the rumours and the escalations. It's only the beginning, you know. But this is all tied into these people's plans. That's not happening anymore. Good things are on the way. Something to prepare you for the next coming year. Something to stoke your conscience. And I ask you to watch Putin's speech. I'll leave the links in the description. 2 speeches by Vladimir Putin. One at an economic forum where he gave out a warning in 2016. And again, his Christmas speech in 2016. We're totally shielded and shepherded from news media and from the Russian people over there. They are essentially us. They are our partners, but they've been demonized. Putin especially. I'm not saying he's no angel, you know. We're talking about global politics here. But I do believe he's got the heart to fight for his nation. He's got his nation's best interest and his people. Sure, look, I'm looking from afar. But what I've seen in these speeches and what was said and what the various interviews that I've seen conducted around him and the openness and the transparency that he's trying to bring, he's had a huge battle, and I will give my props to Vladimir. I'm totally on board. Like I say, I'm going to try and keep it down to a quick brief summary, and I'll try and get back and do some more. Just want to keep in touch with you guys. Thanks again for all your comments, your likes, subscriptions. Please don't forget to press the subscription button or the little bell, because I'll be doing live streaming coming on soon. I've almost reached the required specs that I need to do a bit of live streaming. And I'd like to do some live streaming from our exit, bring the camera with me, and maybe post and show you guys what's going to happen over here in Ireland as we go forward. Thanks again, everybody. Us!